Hey Gary, you're person number 2 of 3 within the last 3 days that has asked me about allergies. So it is about that time. The best way to look at allergies is to consider it a post-traumatic stress response. Your body has been traumatized in some way, and so your nervous system and immune system is locked into a specific way of handling some kind of a stimuli, the allergen. You can have allergies to chemicals, allergies to foods. You can even have allergies to people. I, rest in peace, had a friend that had a horrible breakup with his ex-girlfriend, and she was so emotionally abusive, verbally abusive, that even the thought of her mentioning her name for many months after would give him things like stress hives, because his body was reacting to that energy frequency. So your body will remember certain things happening to it. Let's say you're a child and you go out and you pick some pears off of a tree, and that pear tree had just been sprayed in heavy pesticide. And so when you ate this pesticide-laden pear, your body remembers that pesticide being ingested. And so anytime you eat the pear in the future, you now have a guilt by association reaction happening. Your body is giving you allergy warnings. Hey, back in the day when you ate these pears, we got poisoned. Maybe you didn't get sick from the poisoning, but your body knows how it really affected you on a deeper level. And so it's giving you allergy symptom signals to say, hey, we don't want the carriers of poison coming into us. And if you're not eating heavily poison-laden pears, or if you're washing it off and it's all good, or you're eating something that is more powerful than the poison, like celery or wild blueberries, you need to get over this allergen because you're missing out on healing foods. So there's another aspect to this, but I'll get to it later. So how do you reset your nervous system? There are a plethora of different ways, and I'm going to go over 2 because I personally have used these 2 with seasonal allergies. I put that in quotes. I'll explain that later. I personally have used these 2 techniques with my own allergies, and they have worked magnificently. The first technique that I have used is called NAET. It stands for Nembrotipod's Allergy Elimination Treatment. Nembrotipod is the name of the doctor who came up with this technique. NAET, Nembrotipod's Allergy Elimination Treatment. It's a mix between Eastern and Western styles of medicine, and basically you have to use acupressure to reset the nervous system. You have the energy signature of the allergen stimuli, and you need to remain in contact with the frequency of the stimuli, but you cannot come into physical contact with that stimuli. I recommend you looking it up to get more details. And it can take multiple sessions depending on how strong of a negative reaction that you're having, depending on how strong-willed your body is. You may need multiple rounds. If you live in the Las Vegas Valley, you can see Dr. John Wise at Wise Chiropractic, and he will treat you. It is an in-person type of treatment, so if you don't live locally here, then you'll need to go online and find a local practitioner. Another technique that I have been on the receiving end of and works very well is NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. This can be done remotely over the phone. And again, you'll have to go look it up to see the details of how it works, but basically you're talking to yourself with guidance of a practitioner to be able to connect with your nerves. You need to get in a certain brainwave state to do this, and that's why you need a practitioner if you don't already know how to do it, which I sure don't. And you basically talk to your nerves and you work through these memories and you reprogram your nerves so that they no longer have this type of a reaction. The practitioner who's helped me the most with this is, his name is Gregory C. Joseph, and he can be found on his website, gregoryjosephhealer.com. The parts of the explanation that I said I'd get to later, that is the now time. With things like seasonal allergies, probably not so much with individual food allergies, but maybe, I'm not so sure, because there are so many different things going on with people's bodies. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what is happening. So by cleaning up your diet and removing certain things that trigger allergy-like symptoms, you may see an improvement. And those things that can trigger allergy-like symptoms are eggs, dairy products, and bread. And other processed foods, we know all those weird additives that they put on potato chips and cereal, and all the things we know aren't all that great for us. You know they're sneaking stuff in there. So what's going on here is that your liver is in charge of filtering out the bad stuff, the pathogens, the toxins, the poisons. And when your liver is really overloaded because you have never had the chance or the know-how to give your liver the time and the space and the tools to be able to properly cleanse itself, then your liver may be overloaded. And when you get a little bit too much of something, it gets overloaded to the point where you get symptoms. And so if you can reduce your overall garbage load within your body, a lot of things just start to clear up on their own. And so for me personally, I will receive or get seasonal allergy symptoms a couple days, not the same day, sometimes the next day, but sometimes it takes a couple days. But a couple days after I eat something like eggs or cheese, another dairy product, woo, something like blew into my nose there off this tree. If I eat something like that, a couple days later, I will have seasonal allergy symptoms. So, there's a lot of information to digest and to experiment with. There is another category of allergies, anaphylactic shock. I encourage you, if you're really interested to know more, to do the research, because anaphylactic shock was not observed until around World War I. And in World War I, we were using penicillin because it is great as an antibiotic, especially when someone's been wounded at war. And doctors had this brilliant idea, well, if it works in a localized area, what if we inject it in somebody and make it go over the whole body? If you put it in the whole body, it must be that much better, right? Well, not too long after, people started having anaphylaxis. So, there is a relationship between all those things that I just described, but I'm not going to go into any further detail because I don't want this video taken down. So good luck on your healing journey. You can do it. Your body loves you. The more you know it, the more you tell yourself that, the more your body can support you. The placebo effect is real. Cheers.